1-0, 1-0, 4-3, 3-0, 2-2, 2-0, 2-2. What do all of them results have in common? Well, I'll tell you what they all have in common. Can you guess? 3, 2, 1. 7 games Manchester United have gone against Tottenham Hotspur without a win. Home and away. 7 games. You're talking Premier League, you're talking League Cup, you're talking the dreaded Europa League final. 7 games without a win against Tottenham Hotspur. They are our certified bogey team. And today, against Tottenham, at their home ground, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we've got to make it count. We've got to break that curse. They have not got a good home record. Manchester United haven't got the best away record either this season. What is that going to create? I think Thomas Frank is under pressure to play out a little bit more, not be so conservative, not be so pragmatic in his approach, especially after the last game against Chelsea, which was probably one of the worst Tottenham performances I've seen in a very long time. He's under pressure to come out and play a little bit. Manchester United can expose that. It's time we break that curse. In fact, the last time that Manchester United beat Tottenham Hotspur, Ronaldo was still at the club. Do you remember it? Him walking down into the tunnel before full time had even happened. Fred played a fantastic game, I think won man of the match. This was while Erik ten Hag was in charge. That's how long it has been since we've beat Tottenham Hotspur, and everyone said that was probably one of our best games actually under Erik ten Hag when we beat Tottenham Hotspur 2-0 at Old Trafford. But this time out against Tottenham, it's Ruben Amorim in charge. He was yet to win against Tottenham, and it's a Manchester United side that are competing to get into Europe, and that's exactly what Spurs are trying to do as well. We're on the same amount of points. Both teams on 17 points in the Premier League, in and around them top 5 positions. It's such an important game. It's such an important fixture for both sides. Manchester United remain unbeaten in 4 games. Can they go unbeaten in 5? And Tottenham Hotspur really need to improve their home record under Thomas Frank. Both teams will be expecting European football this year. So it's a big one. And, you know, you're going into the international break after this game, and one team's going to be really happy, could be in and around the top 5. The other team's going to go into it pretty disappointed. Manchester United need to make sure that they are the team going in happy, going in with a buzz. Ruben Amorim's just won Premier League Manager of the Month for October, 3 out of 3 wins. Forest, disappointing for that lapse of concentration to end up with a draw, but still away from home. Sean Dyche's first Premier League game at the City Ground. You know, you're kind of going to have to take it considering the circumstances. And I actually agree with what Ruben Amorim said. Of course, we never want to draw a game. Of course, we're expected to beat Nottingham Forest, whether we're home or away. However, considering the circumstances, that is a game that last season I think United would have lost, and we hung in there, we showed character, we went on to draw the game. Let's go unbeaten again. And instead of going unbeaten with a draw at Tottenham, I'm giving my score prediction early today, I'm fancying a 2-1. Let's snatch it and grab it. Let's snatch it and grab it at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm fancying a 2-1 here. Spurs do have threats, of course they do. Mohamed Kudus was a really good signing for them and has had some attacking threat for them. Probably one of their only attacking threats, to be honest with you. I do think when you look at them in the final third, they are a bit lacklustre, which I think is going to help Manchester United. I mean, just looking at the stats, I said it on the fans forum, and I'm not stood here saying I said it, so, you know, look at me, I got it right. But Ruben Amorim did say in his pre-match press conference that Manchester United are conceding far too many goals, and I mentioned it on the fans forum. We are quick to say, we're not scoring enough goals, or we're not creating enough chances. At the end of the day, no matter how you score them, we scored 2 goals away from home at Nottingham Forest. We did do that. At the City Ground, we scored 2 goals. 2 goals away from home in the Premier League is good going. We conceded 2. Morgan Gibbs-White one was a good goal. Second one was a sloppy one. And the fact it was in 39 seconds, we're conceding too many goals. It's not just on the defenders, it's on the team shape, it's on getting back into your positions, it's on being defensively disciplined. But United need to work on that aspect. And the fact that Spurs' top goal scorer is Mickey van der Ven really does kind of put into perspective that Manchester United should be going here and not conceding like they usually do. And when I say usually do, we've got better, but we still are conceding a few too many. Even though we beat Brighton 4-2, we still conceded 2 goals. 2 goals conceded against Nottingham Forest. We need to make sure we go to Spurs' ground and really kind of maintain our defensive discipline and ensure that we don't concede any sloppy goals. We don't have any lapses of concentration, because that's where they can punish us. Mickey van der Ven is looking really, really, really good. Really good. Mickey van der Ven is a fantastic defender and he's caused us problems before. I remember him absolutely running through us in that really dismal display where Bruno Fernandes got sent off at Old Trafford under Ten Hag, and we just knew the writing was on the wall there for Ten Hag in that game, and he can punish us again. It's something we've got to be wary of. He has been fantastic this season. Like I said, Kudus is a threat. Xavi Simons is yet to really impress. Quite a big signing for them in the summer, so he's someone I would keep an eye on, because usually, in the past, Manchester United players do seem to turn up against us. It is like a cup final, and that's where players can really get up for the game. So despite him not starting the season in the most positive way, I would still keep an eye on him. I think they've got some really strong physical midfielders in there that can cause us problems. Sarr has been brilliant and gone under the radar. Paulina has been a really good signing, one that you could argue Manchester United should have made is a midfield boost in the summer. So there's things about Spurs that can cause you problems. Are threats, their fullbacks as well like to get forward and cause problems. But Thomas Frank is in a situation where that clip has gone viral of Mickey van der Ven and Spence kind of giving him the cold shoulder after that game against Chelsea. I think their XG was on the floor against Chelsea. I watched that game and I just thought, when I was watching back through the highlights and watching portions of the game, I just thought, wow, Spurs look like they've got no threat. Then they go over to Copenhagen in the week and they look really good, and they can tear them apart, and they did tear them apart. So depending on where they go, Spurs, whether it's home, whether it's away, you can see a different Spurs. You can see a Spurs that will kind of be a bit more pragmatic away from home, and then on the break will kill you in transition. Or you can see a Spurs at home that isn't creating enough chances and isn't doing themselves justice, because I do think they have a good squad. So Thomas Frank is a good manager. It'll be interesting to see how he approaches this game, but I think it'll play into Ruben Amorim and Manchester United's hands if they do come out a little bit and try and show a bit of attacking flair, show a bit of confidence and a bit of bravery in getting at Manchester United, because I think away from home Manchester United can afford to sit a little bit deeper. Do not be surprised if Harry Maguire comes into the starting 11. I expect that to happen if he is fit, as we have seen on multiple occasions this season when he's fit and we are away from home. And United can kill you on the break. Them long balls coming over from Seny Lammens, coming over from Bruno Fernandes, out to the likes of Bryan Mbeumo, which is just, he's having a fantastic season. I keep arguing signing of the summer. Jacques has been good for Sunderland, but I think Mbeumo has been fantastic. Them off the ball runs he's made the most in the Premier League, and getting in behind Spurs' defence, yes, Mickey van der Ven's fast, but if they're pushing up the pitch, that can be an area that we exploit. Sesko, whether he starts, whether it's Mason Mount, it's yet to be seen. That's a big question for Ruben Amorim going into the weekend's game. He's really good at getting up early for them flick-ons to Bryan Mbeumo. We've seen it in games previously. So I think Manchester United do have a genuine chance in this game. I think it's going to be really 50-50. I think it's going to be a real test for both managers. But I can see Manchester United coming out on top of this game. I do think we will play to the advantage of Spurs being under pressure, of putting on a performance at their home ground where they have been struggling. And I think we could cause them a little bit of damage, especially on the counter-attack and in the transitions. What team do I think Ruben Amorim will play? Well, it's always tough to change a team that's on a run. And I know against Forest there was some disappointing moments and we never really got fully into third gear, to be honest with you, but it's still an unbeaten run. So I think it'll be difficult for Ruben Amorim to justify making changes. However, I do think certain areas of the team will be put under question, and I think them areas will be, does Harry Maguire come in? I think if Harry Maguire's fit, Ruben Amorim will start him. Started him against Liverpool, really important game away from home. He's done it in other games that he's found to be of importance to Manchester United, and I think Spurs falls into that category. He did it at home against Chelsea, he did it away at Anfield. I think he will do it against Spurs if he is fit. So Harry Maguire might come in for Lenny Yoro, I could suspect. He might not, but that's just my gut feeling. Does Mazraoui come into the team at wing back for Ahmad or Dalot? That's a question. Does Dorgu come in for Dalot? I think the wing-backs are always under question because they're not absolutely nailed. I suspect Ahmad will start at right wing-back. I think he'll go with the confidence to start him there. And I hope he does, because I think he could cause real problems with Mbeumo going down that right-hand side against Spurs' defence. I think they do really well at taking defenders away and opening up that space in the middle for Sesko to make some runs as well. So I would like to see both Amad and Mbeumo start together. I think that will be nailed. I think the left wing-back spot is up for debate, whether that's Dorgu or whether that's Dalot, but I think he will go with Dalot, not because he's his long-lost cousin, but because he is the more experienced player, and despite him having a pretty poor season so far, he does tend to lean more towards Dalot in these situations. I personally would go with Dorgu in this game, to be honest with you. I think Dorgu looked more of a threat when he came on against Nottingham Forest. I mean, both of them I think need to be upgraded, to be honest with you. I think Dorgu is not quite there yet. He's got potential, he's got attributes, but both of them are making a proper show for themselves to be, yes, I want to be the starting left wing back, but get in the comments who would you go for. I'd lean towards Dorgu in this game. And then across the front line, I think the only other question is, does Benjamin Sesko start? I actually think he will start him. I think he'll show some faith in him. He got a bit of unfair, heavy criticism after the Forest game. I think he had a poor game, Benjamin Sesko, I do, but he's learning the ropes of the Premier League, and like I said, if we are playing that long direct ball, which I suspect we will do, I can see Sesko being really damaging with them flick-ons in behind to Mbeumo. However, against Liverpool, we went with Cunha and we went with Mount, and it ran that defence ragged, and Van Dijk didn't know how to deal with it. The same thing could happen in this game when you look at Spurs' defenders. They could be caught off guard with the Cunha and Mount combination, and if Mount is back fit, big games like this, so don't be surprised to see him starting. I think it's difficult because I'd want to keep Sesko's confidence up, so I'd want to go Sesko. However, I think for more assurity, I'd go with Mount and Cunha. That's just my opinion. Let me know yours. I like both, and this is the positive side of having a bit of a depth of team there. But Sesko's, I think, been a bit unfairly criticised, and to keep his confidence up, it'd be good to see him start. I don't mind who starts, but I think if I was a coach and I had to pick, I'd probably lean towards Mount and Cunha, but let me know. Score prediction, I've already told you. I'm going with 2-1 to Manchester United. I think it's going to be a snatch and grab towards the end. I hope that is the case. I'm just really excited about this Manchester United team at the moment, and I want to carry on this spell of good form. Don't let the draw get you down. We're still unbeaten, and I think we can go into this international break feeling really proud of ourselves, being in and around them Champions League spots, and then get excited for a very busy Christmas period. So I'm all behind this team. I'm all behind Ruben Amorim. Whoever starts, let's just get behind him. Smash a like on the video. Who's Spurs' biggest threats? What's your predictions? I'm going with a 2-1 Man United. And the last thing to say is, stay tuned for Countdown to Kick Off. Stay tuned for all our match content. And come on, United.